Sunday, December the 29th, and I figure it's probably a good idea just to lay it out, speak it out, because it's rare these days that I should have a Sai Baba dream, and I think it's quite a good omen. I believe Sai Baba to be an avatar of the highest order. So I woke up in the early morning needing a pee, ended up having a shower, and then lay back down to sleep in the early hours, maybe about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and proceeded to have a dream. So in the dream, I've had a few dreams like this. I'm confused about where I am, what I'm supposed to be doing, or perhaps where I'm supposed to be going. I was in transit on my way somewhere, passing through Prague last week in a dream, and I wasn't sure if I'd packed my bags and if I'd left things, and I wasn't sure even if I'd booked my plane ticket or how I was supposed to get to the airport. I wasn't even sure if I had any money on me, that sort of dream. I've been having a lot of dreams where people who seem quite sort of luminary people, quite high up people that I perhaps follow on social media, or people who've got intel. But today it was Sai Baba, and then later on Joseph Gregory Hallett in the dream. So basically, I didn't actually see Sai Baba, Shirdi Sai Baba, the first Sai Baba, who left us in 1918. And then Satya Sai Baba came, I think, 6 years later. Incarnation. We believe him to be an incarnation of God, of Vishnu. So in the dream, I was at a puja, which is an Indian sort of ceremony where I don't do pujas. I don't really know much about them. I have participated. I've been to India a lot, but I don't really participate in that sort of thing as a general rule. But it involves the sort of ritual worship, or I guess you can call it worship of a deity. And the Indians do pujas, perform pujas a lot. It may be a simple puja, which involves maybe just lighting a candle and waving some incense around a framed picture of your particular deity, the family deity or whatever, to mark an important, like let's say someone dies, then you would have a puja in their house, and like the Christians getting together and praying or singing songs. But this one seemed very elaborate. It was going on all day. And I was there. I was dressed all in white, which is what the Satya Sai Baba people do. I perceived myself to be a Satya Sai Baba devotee. So at the ashram in India, the Sai Baba people, we, as a general rule, you don't have to, but as a general rule, we all just wear white kotan pajamas, white linen or cotton. I think linen is, most of them are linen. And I like that a lot. And so I was. They weren't kotan pajamas, but I was dressed all in white. And I knew that I was at a puja. Seagulls. I knew that I was at a puja. I knew it was kind of like an Indian family, but it was definitely extended. So there's a lot of other people there. It seemed to be taking place in various different parts of the house. So a very complex one. I'm sure they're not normally quite like that. And someone had given me a whole bunch of pens. It could have been like 30 biros or something. People were giving me things, and I was like, what am I supposed to do with these? And I had some of my own possessions in a plastic bag, and I was sort of wondering what I should do with these. I sort of wanted to find a room where I could maybe put them safe and just get them out of the way for this puja ceremony. I'm walking up the Skudguk Hill. It's quite steep here in Penzance, Cornwall. And so, we were sitting. I found myself sitting. I was tired. And I was sitting on the floor, and there was a few other people around, and there was a lady who I could ascertain was professional. She was being paid to be there. But I didn't know anything more than that. And then there was another woman to my right who seemed younger and was Western. Most of them were Indian there. And this woman started to speak almost as if she was channeling, or as if she was a psychic or something like that. And I couldn't quite make out what she was saying, but she was saying something about the other woman and who that woman was, perhaps in a previous life or something like that. And the other woman wasn't impressed at all, and said, well, that's not, I don't think that's the case. That's, you're being paid to you're just talking rubbish, sort of thing. But fairly polite, but still, I remember thinking, God, that's not a very good start, is it, for the professional channel or clairvoyant or whatever she was supposed to be. And she just, the clairvoyant lady just said, oh, well, okay, that's fine, moving on. So I was like, this is very strange. That doesn't normally happen at a puja. And then I found myself sat well, they were stood up. So there were 3 other men. I knew we were men, and I knew that Greg Hallett was opposite me. And they were stood up, and I was sat down, because again, I was very tired. And I wasn't sure what I was doing there. And the one to my, I didn't know who the other 2 were. The one to my right said he was kind of like channeling as well. And he said something like, we should dance in a circle. And the one to my left, in a sort of trancey type voice, went, yes, we should. I was like, gosh, this is all very strange. And then Greg looked at me very congenially, sort of nodded, smiled, and said, let's stand up, we're going to dance now. And I went, oh, okay. And then I just wondered, like, what, will we link hands? Will it be like an Irish jig where we skip around with our feet? And that was it. And then I woke up. So just thought I would speak that out as I ascend to the top of the hill where the ley lines pass. And I'll probably just put that on my Sai Baba avatar group. It's just a very small group. It's where I put things to do with Sai Baba up. So if you've got any resources, if you're on that group, I think there's only about 50 members, but if you're on that group, and I don't know, if you've had a dream of Sai Baba, or if you think there's anything particularly good you want to put up about Sai Baba there, then feel free to. It's not a place to debate, anything, but if you've got decent links or photos, I like rare photos, then feel free to put them up. Thanks.